Because yo, what's up, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. So I hope somebody enjoyed that game. I don't even think Real Madrid fans or Athletic Madrid fans enjoyed that game. Real Madrid fans because of the way in which Real Madrid went to play this game, and Athletic Madrid fans because of what happened with the ultras, with the mega overzealous fans and what they did. And more about that. I have some thoughts on that. I don't think many of you are going to be happy with what I have to say, but it's just my take, my opinion, and what I took from that ordeal. But that first half was an opiate. It was a sleeping pill. I was bored. I was bored, and I did not expect the game to turn out like that. First half was just, man, both teams were just like afraid of each other. There was very little action. The only thing I remember was Julian Alvarez just taking the ball, getting past Rudiger, and shooting, and very tight angle. I guess he was trying to get it through Courtois' legs, and yeah, that's about it from Athletic Madrid. And it's weird because Sorloth, which scored a bunch of goals, I think 28 maybe goals with Villarreal. I thought, and I didn't even know he was in. I think I had more or less an idea that he was in Athletic Madrid, but I thought they were going to combine, and they were trying to. It wasn't like they each were separated and isolated and doing their own thing. And Sorloth was greedy. They were trying at the beginning, trying to get some kind of link up going. But the only one that pretty much felt threatening for Athletic Madrid was Julian Alvarez. That was it. And for Real Madrid, Vinicius made some interesting runs. And the only one that got close to scoring, I guess it's Valverde. Pretty much, that's it. Valverde. Oh, and Jude Bellingham with a shot that just trickled onto Oblak, and Oblak obviously made a safe save. I mean, that was a cookie. That was easy. That was an easy save for him, and that was about it. And just that first half, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that from Real Madrid or Athletic Madrid. I thought both of them were gonna go head to head, and they were just gonna go at it like nonstop. And instead, none of them wanted to, expose themselves. And I get that. I get that from Real Madrid mostly, but not from Athletic Madrid. But they did a really good job too. I got to give them credit for that. Both teams did a really fantastic job of just staying back. And what could Vinicius do? What could Bellingham do? And I thought Vinicius didn't bring his A game. He didn't play his usual football. Although he tried, and there was a lot of complaining, and he needs to tone that down. He needs to dial that down. Man, he's gonna get carded, man. Just like the last game. I didn't see the last game, but I watched the highlights, obviously, and Ancelotti, hauling him in and telling him to stop. And despite Jude Bellingham just pretty much becoming the chief of that midfield in the first half, I mean, he was recovering, and the way he was guarding the ball, nobody was taking the ball away from him. A great display of how you're supposed to guard the ball, as well as Valverde too, making those recoveries and just going back, defending. The same thing with Jude Bellingham. Both of them, I thought, had a really good game. Yes, there was more. I think there were more mistakes from Bellingham, but still, I thought he had a really good game. And then Modric too, doing what he can. And it looks like we're gonna see more Modric because they need someone that's on the ball, that's that has that vision, that's competent on the ball. And there's no Tony Cruz anymore, so probably gonna see more of Modric. I don't know. That's my take. Rodrigo, I thought he played well. Because that's what I expect from Rodrigo. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. You're doing well. I think he had one opportunity maybe that there was a shot, but that was it. Second half, not so much, and obviously they made the subs, and I don't get those subs. I mean, pretty much brought in like I don't know how many defenders, and all they did was it reminded me of Manchester United after they scored the goal. They just stuck back, and like I said, Real Madrid were just looking for that point. They went to tie, and that was kind of disappointing, in terms of valuetainment, if you want to call it that. Yeah, that kind of sucked. I did not expect that. That was kind of disappointing from them. But I did really enjoy the entry that this guy Endrick made. Absolutely brilliant, just taking the ball to counter, and I think it was from a corner kick. Yeah, it was from a corner kick, and just like he did against I think it was in the Champions League. Yeah, from long distance, really low shot. Almost surprised Oblak. I mean, it did surprise him, and that's why he dove the way he did. But at the same time, Bellingham was on the left side. I think on the right side, maybe somebody else was running, but I clearly saw Bellingham running, and did a little knee slide in protest because he could have passed it to him, and Bellingham could have passed it back to him, and definitely could have gotten the 2-1. And that's what I was expecting from Real Madrid. That's the kind of Real Madrid. I mean, the only time that they played like that, where they were just like defending, was against City, and I mean, we all understand why they would do that, but not against Athletic Madrid. Again, and especially Athletic Madrid didn't. They weren't really imposing. They weren't really threatening. They weren't really attacking. There was no danger from Athletic Madrid. There was that good action from what's his name, Lino. Ended up juking. Was it Rudiger or Militao? I think it was Militao getting a shot, and really good save from Courtois. But after that, like, there was no danger. I don't know why they decided to just defend. I mean, it just takes one. Like Correa just took that one action, and you could end up losing the game. But that's not Real Madrid. That's not their style of football. I don't know why they went after that kind of gameplay, but if they wanted to get that 1 point, it worked, right? It worked. But still, when they ended up making all those changes, what happened? Athletic Madrid just kept pushing, and knocking at the door, and just barreling through until they got the equalizer, right? So yeah, kind of disappointed, but there were good performances by a lot of these players. Militao, maybe some like attacks, kind of losing the balls here and there, but Tchouaméni, which I've noticed has been getting a lot of flack lately. I guess this benefited his game because he's not the type to. I don't know why I had it in mind. I guess from watching him back in the day with France several years ago, to be a little bit more leading in attack. To be able to place those balls, those long distance balls, but he doesn't do that. He just goes back a lot of the time. And for this game, I mean, it worked perfectly. It worked in his favor. Again, nobody really kind of dared to go up front or couldn't. Again, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, when he was still playing, what could they do? Anytime they tried to go up front, they were met with a wall of Athletic Madrid players. So there was not much they can do. And Athletic Madrid did a bang-up job of defending. There was no way. Don't wait unless there was going to be a mistake from somebody. Someone's going to make a slip up, a missed pass, bad clearance, or a center that again just gets, everybody gets confused, and then somebody just toe blows it in. That's the only way I saw this, working in favor of Real Madrid, because they were backed up. They were all the way back, and they weren't going to come out. Athletic Madrid weren't going to come out. And now the whole ordeal with the supporters, the Athletic Madrid supporters, which, by the way, the ref did a really good job. As soon as he said what he said, everything was very tidy, organized. They left the field. It was like nobody was there. No player was on the field. Magnificent job to the ref and the officials, staff, and everybody, getting the players. I did not understand what was going on because they didn't even really say what was going on. And my take, maybe I'm completely wrong here, was after the goal from Militao. Courtois, you saw, I know there was something going beforehand. Obviously, this happens in every game. You're being yelled at, you're being insulted. And of course, Courtois played for Athletic Madrid. So he was being insulted beforehand. And I guess whatever he was being insulted, he didn't take it very well because as soon as he scored, Militao scored the goal, he turns around and he makes that gesture, like, let's go, come on. Like, like very cynical, right? Making fun, mocking the fans. And I'm not condoning what Athletic Madrid did, what the fans did, right? That was wrong, throwing stuff on the field. If anything, you're hurting yourself. It's a disservice to you because you're not going to postpone the game, like they said. You're going to end up losing the game. But a player that once played for your team and you're making those type of gestures, come on, you got to think about that, man. Like, this team, brought you in, hosted you, took care of you, loved you, right? They made you feel at home. And then you kind of return like that. I'm not saying that, he's supposed to be loyal forever, right? He's in another team. We get that. I don't know what the whole deal was when he ended up going from Athletic Madrid to Chelsea. Maybe it was like bad dealing. Maybe there was like bad blood going on before he left. They didn't leave on good terms. I don't know exactly why, but doing that kind of gesture, what do you think is going to happen? Because if you would do that every single time you got close to a corner kick, because you could hear the fans saying stuff to you. When you're by the sidelines as well, you can hear what they're saying to you, and you would turn. If you were to turn every single time and address them, we would never get through a single match. You have to know how to lead that. You have to know how to deal with that. And I think he did a piss poor job at turning around and, mocking them and, trying to get them. He was provoking them, trying to incite them to throw those, what were their vapes or lighters. He did that. Like, he's partly responsible for that. And I'm not condoning the whole thing with the Athletic Madrid fans. Of course, don't do that. That makes no sense. But I also don't blame you for taking action. I don't blame you for responding back. Not in that way, obviously, and because they want to see the game. I know they want the game to finish, and I think that's what they were telling Koke Jimenez too, and Simeone, right? It's like he's the one that was provoking us. He was like, taunting us that way. That's not going to be tolerated. We're not going to put up with that because he used to play for us. He used to play for us. He doesn't owe us anything, but the least bit that respect, don't taunt them after you score a goal. Don't do that. Even players know not to do that. Other teammates, they kind of hush them, they pull them in, and they try to cover them. Like, don't do that. Some kind of obscene gesture, right? And that was kind of an obscene gesture. The whole making fun of them. Like, go ahead, yeah, say something now. Whatever it is that was going on before. So my take is both of them were wrong. Now I know people are gonna probably hate me or disagree with me. That's fine. Again, that's just my opinion. I didn't even touch on the Militao goal. That was a really good, first of all, really good play, and which I don't think was a foul. I think Vinicius made more out of it than it should. Yeah, the ball did go through Lenormand's legs, and then Lenormand barely touched him, grazed him, and then he ended up diving. But to me, what really was the mistake was putting DePaul to take care of Vinicius. That was a mismatch right there. And the center for Militao, I think somebody ended up heading it back, and Militao with the amazing strike. Yeah, there was a little slight deflection on Llorente, but still, that was a great strike, great volley by Militao. And Correa with the balls, man, the balls to do that to Thibaut Courtois, and I kind of payback, man. That's what you get for taunting the fans that way, and just beating Rudiger on the offside because just trying to catch him offside. And just a little, I thought he was gonna shoot it. I thought he was just gonna place it, get the second post, and ends up doing that little shift move between having Militao in back of him, ends up making that little shift between and gets past Courtois. And Courtois never saw that come. He never thought he was going to do that. Courtois never thought he was going to end up doing that. He ends up getting the goal, and they end up tying. So really strange from Real Madrid playing the way they did, but Athletic Madrid deserved the tie. We'll see. In any case, we'll see what happens. Should have been a win, but again, it's not the easiest thing to go and play Athletic Madrid at all, or Athletic Madrid playing Real Madrid. It's not the easiest thing. So we'll see what happens because Barcelona lost 4-2, 4-1 or 4-2, 4-2 I think it was. So things are looking interesting. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.